Committee, Jeff Van Drew. Congressman, great to see you. I want to talk a little bit. I first want to get your reaction to the president's response there. You know, a reporter asked him a question, obviously in the middle of an investigation, asking him if he's referred to as the big guy, and he responds with, "What a dumb question."
The only thing dumb in that whole exchange was the president's response, which is typical. Because number one, you know, he doesn't really have the mental wherewithal to answer anything difficult. And then secondly, in my opinion, he's not telling the truth. And so, you know, we always end up with what is a good and valid question and a terrible answer. And unfortunately, he gets away with it. A lot of the media let him slide. They would never, ever let Donald Trump slide with an answer like that. And we all know that there's so much more to all this. In judiciary, we've had the FBI there numerous times, asked them serious questions. They're covering up for the president. You know, this is a bigger problem. Not only does it relate to should he be impeached or not, and I believe he should be, just like Mayorkas should absolutely, definitely be impeached. But the second question is, how deep does this run in our important institutions in the United States of America, in our agencies? And I think it's very deep.
We had learned earlier this week from Republican Senator Chuck Grassley that this document, this unclassified FBI document about the alleged bribery scheme, apparently contains 17 audio recordings that was kept by the Burisma executive as a quote unquote insurance policy. 15 of those recordings were with Hunter Biden, allegedly, and the other 2 were with Joe Biden. There seems to be some reluctance within the GOP to go out and already say that there should be impeachment proceedings launched, that we should wait for the full evidence. But I mean, you're saying you're already there. So what to you, list for me those impeachable offenses that you've already seen through your investigative work with the Judiciary Committee?
Well, we know that there's more to all this. We know, for example, but we can't get the information, but that there are watchdogs that have given us information, you know, whether it is the FBI, the Federal Bureau, when we had them in front of our committee in Judiciary, that would only give us documents that were heavily redacted. It doesn't make sense. Whether it's the IRS that has certainly found out important information and tagged Hunter Biden and pointed out that there were issues there, but suddenly those IRS agents that were willing to tell the truth and those IRS agents that were the watchdogs were removed, and every other process was done with them to make sure that information wouldn't go out. So just by the very fact that every time we want to find the truth, I think we're just going to have to dig and dig hard. And if we can't do it the way that we're trying to do it, the right way, then if we've got to go full tilt, I'm willing to do it. This is something that America should not and cannot tolerate. There's a level of corruption that is so thorough with the corporations that have been set up, with what the president has done and said. And frankly, and that's not an impeachable offense, but you know what? Just his response. In essence, he's calling somebody dumb because they ask a question he doesn't want to answer. That's rude, arbitrary, and inappropriate for a president. That's not impeachable. That just shows he's a really bad president.
Congressman, this is going to be a very big week on Capitol Hill, where there will be closed-door testimony from John Durham off the back of his report saying that the FBI never should have launched its investigation into potential collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. Talk to me a little bit about what Republicans are hoping to extract from that testimony and how they may use this to bring accountability to federal agencies.
Well, what John Durham's investigation showed is what we said all along, what the president said all along, and people just didn't want to believe it. There was no Russian collusion. The Steele dossier is a made-up, fabricated piece of crap, frankly, and I hate to use words like that, but it really is. And it was all right. It was all right for Hillary and the Democrats and everybody to do all of that fictional misinformation. But, for us to want to get to the truth is not all right. Well, I think we're going to get to the truth, John Durham. We're going to hear a lot of what the American public and what other congressmen need to hear. And I know I'm going to ask some tough questions, and I want some good answers. And frankly, I think he has the answers. At least we've got some real answers so far, and we hope to get a lot of more. He's going to be before my Judiciary Committee, and I look very much forward to hearing what he's going to say and how he's going to present himself. But the bottom line is we've got to start digging into this stuff. You cannot allow a free republic, America, to continue with these kinds of activities unanswered, unchecked, and it's something that has to stop. And so hopefully this is not the beginning, but we're well within to it, but we get to the real meat of this, the meat on the bones.
All right, Congressman Jeff Van Drew, look forward to following up with you this week on John Durham's testimony. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Straight ahead on Saturday agenda, governors across America